Good morning. You're listening to Shamelessly Shontay. I'm your host, Shontay Lundy, and happy Sunday. Today we have a returning co-host, Francis Ford.
Is that me?
That's you.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So y'all, I don't know if you saw that Shontay, myself, posted this kind of information on my Instagram, and the post read, "We received a $1.5 million PO."
What?
Oop. Clap.
Drum rolls?
Yes. So
I need some sound effects.
I kind of want to give some context around that, right? Because some people are like, what does that even mean? Is it from many retailers? What do you have to do to get that? And I can only give but so much. What I will say is Black Girl Sunscreen has been fortunate over these years. We've built a very solid community. And if you get a 1.5 PO, a $1 million PO, that means you have to sell. So in order to get that large of a PO, that means your product is selling.
It's moving.
So that's called velocity. Mm-hmm. How many units per week, per store do you sell? Mm-hmm. Now, Black Girl Sunscreen, we are in multiple retailers. So I will say that PO is from one retailer.
What?
Francis is singing. Yes. Very exciting. But, there's kind of two sides to this, right? Like some business owners are really killing the game and they see this on the regular, whereas some business owners are just like, I wish, right? So I try to tread gently, right? Of not being braggadocious, but also not dimming Black Girl Sunscreen's light.
Yeah.
Right? Because ultimately what we do is we educate people of color on sun safety. And I'm going to say that again. Black Girl Sunscreen sells sunscreen to Black and brown people, which has never been done. So to get a $1.5 million PO, we're doing something right.
Why can't we celebrate?
And we're going to do that. So thank you, team Black Girl Sunscreen, for making this happen. And we're going to jump into trending topics. Recently, there was an influencer and just a ray of light that passed from a misdiagnosis. I think she was diagnosed with just having fibrosis, but ended up having cancer in the cervix. Mm-hmm. And I want to kind of shed some light on just the pain and the lack of voice that Black women have in health.
Yeah. So she was diagnosed with, unfortunately, stage 3 cervical cancer. And it's so sad that she was misdiagnosed. She leaves behind a husband, 2 very young kids. And why didn't her doctors do further testing? Like, did they just assume, because your cycle is like this, it's fibroids? Because there's a test that they do to check if you have fibroids instead of guesstimating if that's what you have. And I feel like if that test would have been done, maybe they could have, because clearly we don't know what test she was given. But if the proper test was done, I feel like they would have determined that, this isn't fibroids.
This infuriates me because, she happened to have a platform. Mm-hmm. So we know about this because she has a platform. What about all the other women that don't have a platform and are being misdiagnosed and are not being heard, not being taken seriously? What can we do about this? Or are we feeling helpless?
Yeah, because as Black women, in our community, we said, go see a Black doctor, go see a Black doctor. And then sometimes, unfortunately, you have the Black doctors that kind of let you down too. But I think what can help is if you suspect that you have something, when you go to the doctor, take someone with you who can be an extra voice, because maybe your voice isn't loud enough. Maybe you're not firm enough. But if you have someone, a friend, a sister, some type of advocate there with you, to speak up for you and ask the questions that you might be too afraid to ask.
It's so weird though, because we always want to trust the professional.
Yes.
Right. Like, so if you go into the office, the doctor's office, and they tell you A, you're just like, okay, I'm going to get through this. And for me, I don't ever really like second guess it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't always want to go get a second opinion, but like now that it's come to that, because I don't want to not be here based off of something that could be corrected very early.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I have a girlfriend who she goes for second and third opinions.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't play.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like you, like I trust my doctor. So I'm going to trust what you're telling me because I feel that as my doctor, you have my best interests at heart.
I would hope so. Condolences to her and her family and to everyone else that has been misdiagnosed and is no longer here.
Yeah.
I really hope that we can stand together as Black women and women of color just to for our voices to be heard. And I'm so over having to be this strong, independent woman. And that's why our pain isn't taken seriously, just to be treated as human.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. On a lighter note, we do have an amazing guest today, and I am excited to get her on this mic. Okay. So we're going to go to break, and you're listening to Shamelessly Shontay. Hey, we have a beautiful guest in the building today.
We do, Shontay.
Okay, Frances, who is she?
Well, today's guest is a marketing mogul and social media strategist. Let me go back. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So today we have a beautiful guest in the building.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Frances, who is she?
Today's guest is a marketing mogul and social media strategist who carved her own lane in the modern world of media. From interning at Hot 97 in the early 2000s to becoming the digital manager for Beats by Dre to deservedly earning the role of general manager and vice president of Lil Wayne's Young Money in 2022. Her full-service branding and marketing powerhouse, Always Civil Enterprise, is the force behind some of your favorite celebrities' imaging and marketing success. We are so happy to welcome the hustler and high achiever, Karen Civil.
Oh, hi. I don't know. Like, I was like, doesn't the flowers coming? Like, oh, no.
This is hilarious. Are you being coy right now?
Yeah. Oh, hey, y'all. Okay. We were just having like a whole offline conversation.
We were.
So, yeah.
And it was flowing, right? So it's kind of just like, oh, hi again.
Yeah.
The third time.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, this feels good. Thank you for having me up here.
Of course. We thought about you very early on. I feel like you've been a supporter of Black Girl Sunscreen very early on.
Yes.
Karen, I remember the day I met you.
I do too. It was that 25 women in beauty dinner.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you were kind of like one of the stars of the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
In our own right, I just feel like that day was so empowering.
Yep.
And it was amazing that, you know, I feel like a lot of the other women had like businesses or a part in the beauty space. So to be included in that and just to hear about it just felt good to me, you know, just growing up, feeling people telling me, oh, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, and to come into your own womanhood, but just to see other women who, it was just like a diverse group of women who were running these like companies and certain things. And that was the first time I heard of Black Girl Sunscreen. And after that, every trip, I would just take it and make content. And people were like, do you? I said, no, I just like, I love the fact that there's a sunscreen for us. It's a conversation. I love being outside by the water. Mm-hmm. So like just everywhere I go, I'm like, yeah, y'all getting this as a gift. I'm like, you're welcome. No skin cancer. You're welcome.
Yeah. And we appreciate the, the genuine kind of plugs. So I want to kind of go back to 25 Women in Beauty and something that you said. I feel like that was a really coveted event. Yeah. I don't know if you knew, right? That how coveted it was. And even if you didn't have a brand, it was more about like, you know, what impact are you making on this culture? And that's why you were definitely in the room amongst other people that weren't in the beauty space.
Yeah. I mean, just being able to be immersed in that type of conversation around those type of women who were, you know, from marketing executives to founders and different things in the beauty space. And it's just giving us a chance to shine a light on the work that they're doing within these companies, with their companies, and then people who have platforms and things like myself, and how we just can infuse them and figure something out in synergies. But I made so many relationships from that. It really started with, I'm big on like dinners and moments like that. Like that one was curated so perfectly. And yeah, I'm just so happy I got to meet you that day.
Exactly. So before Black Girl Sunscreen, were you wearing sunscreen?
Yeah, I was kind of, sort of. Okay. But then I didn't really know what it was supposed to look like. Okay. Right? So first I would wear sunscreen. What's the one with the little kid? And I know this is probably not the best way to explain it. It was like, I think something was like pulling the diaper or the pamper. I know exactly
who you're talking about. We won't give them no shine, no.
That one. But then I was like, okay, it's supposed to cast white on you. And then that's when I realized you talked about it. And you was like, no, it's not supposed to do that. I thought it was a good thing. And then that's when I learned about like the 25, the 50 and the different ranges. But for a very long time, I wouldn't wear any. I thought you were just supposed to like just go out and kind of just tan. And that's just what it is. That lets you know you were on vacation, you were outside, people are supposed to see the lines. And yeah, I wasn't the best with the information. And then now that I have it, I understand the importance, and it's a part of my skincare routine too. Like, yeah. So that conversation pretty much saved me. I feel like a couple of years on aging too.
Well, you look very, very young. You look very beautiful.
Thank you.
Karen is in here vibrant. You all can't see us, but she's wearing like a hot pink and green and black ensemble. And you know what? I overthought it this morning. I said, Karen, I think she's going to come dressed down, right? I've seen her at a couple events. You always fly, right?
Yeah.
So I said, for this episode, I'm going to come dressed down. And of course, Karen is
and you want to know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I have some new sneakers I wanted to wear that just came out today. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be the first walking around comfortably in these. Yeah. I had the whole fit.
Yeah.
Like the whole fit. And I was like, I feel like because I was thinking of the last event I did, I said, okay, I was Lululemon down. I was like, that. Okay, this is cool. This is the vibe. I was like, she was dressed up. I said, maybe they'll be dressed for this. So let me take, that's why I was late because I was trying to figure out the outfit. I was like, let me put the good bag on, the whole thing. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, we both overthought this.
We did.
Yeah.
In a previous episode, I definitely had on the shoes and the dress, but it's all good because you're in here vibrant and giving vibrant vibes. And that's the most important thing. So Karen, I'm a big believer in manifestation. I truly know and believe that my mind is powerful. Yes. And it's how I attract the happy things, fulfilling relationships, and business deals in my life. How did you manifest creating and running Lil Wayne's WheezyWeThankYou.com to becoming the GM and VP of his record label, Young Money?
For that, it honestly started out, I loved websites. I grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And at the time I grew up a Nickelodeon kid. I grew up on watching the shows and watching the things. So it was like, I already had a grasp of wanting to do things outside of like my environment. And then I was like the biggest Backstreet Boy fan. So think about it, like a Haitian young girl, black girl, and she likes all these things and XYZ. And then now, it didn't really fit the mold of I want to say like my community or people who understood me. So I would just go online, form relationships and find things that people had in common with me. But then it worked out because I started a website for J.D. Williams first, who was the actor Bodie from The Wire. I absolutely loved him. And it was funny because it was either between him or Michael B. Jordan. And I was like, he's going to be the bigger star. So I gravitated towards Bodie because he was at the time, he was like on everything and was like really going there. So that was the first site I made. Then I made one for the Backstreet Boys. So then when I met with Mac Main, who has been vital in just the success with my career and helping me like maintain my relationship with Wayne, when Wayne got locked up, we were already working on some stuff. And he was like, he needs to figure this out. It was really started as Mac's idea of like, let's do a website too. And I was like, you can say less. That's my alley. This is perfect. I get to sit on the computer. I was like, how about Wheezy Thanks You? And he thought about like changing it to sound like him and using the X. We launched it on Father's Day was his first letter. And it was amazing because Vogue magazine gave it like best in their music issue, best music blog and things like that. So It was great to go from there. But I want to say this was over This was 2010. So people having an understanding, and now we are in 2024.
Yeah.
So this is years later. But working that relationship, me and Mac have been talking about me joining the team since like 2021, and it made sense in 2022.
I saw
and
that.
It was, thank you. And it was a great, I left at the beginning of January. So it was like a great 2 years being over there, being a part of it, just helping to be intricate in his growth and just what the label and stuff was doing. But, that's a testament to, man, just to Mac. Like, it's great to have, in this business, they talk about it a lot, how you don't have a support system. And I'm going to say I have an amazing support system. And I I take pride in saying that. And I absolutely love the people who have been in my corner. And Mac is one of those people. So I'm going to continuously sing his praises, because if it wasn't for him, I just feel like it would have never worked the way it needed to. Because even if when I was at Beats with my website, I was doing Wayne stuff at Beats by Dre. We had the little Wayne headphone we launched, and everything was vital through Mac. So
shout out to Mac.
Yeah, it's great just to have those people who see your vision, because I'm like, listen, I'm an introvert who is, and I talked about this with you before, on the spectrum, just like I process things a little bit differently. So for people to get you and to understand how your mind works, especially marketing, is amazing. So I take super comfort in that.
You said a lot there.
Yeah.
Proud of you, really am. And I want to understand, we're going to go back to the early 2000s. So you interned for one of my favorite stations. We can't say it here, but it's one of my faves. Okay. How do you get from New York to Los Angeles?
So at the time, All-Star Weekend was taking part in LA. And I was like, I'm going to come out here. But at the time, people come out for the parties. I was like, that's cool. I'm going to network and build relationships and things. And at the time, Monster was the parent company for Beats by Dre. And they were doing events like in New York. They would invite me and things like that. And I was building a relationship at the time. This woman that I know, Simone, who ran globalgrind.com, she would invite me to Monster events, and she introduced me to the CMO over there. So then he invited me to their gifting suite in LA. That's all I needed. So I got a flight. I stayed with a friend of mine, and I knew where the gifting suite was. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. It was perfect spot. I posted up there the whole weekend because this is perfect. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to sit in this lobby, and I'm going to meet people as they come. And that's exactly what I did. I built so many relationships. I met people who were coming because they had other activations in this hotel. So it was easy for me on that aspect. But as far as Beats goes, it's when I went up to make my headphone, at the time I just connected with J. Cole, and I still had a relationship with Funkmaster Flex. So I was like, cool to make a headphone for myself, but I was like, I don't really need these big headphones. I wear small in-ears. And I was like, I understand the importance. It's you guys want to do something nice for me, but I don't think it's as important as me having it if we don't get it to an engineer or to somebody who really is going to utilize it. So they gave me all of these products when I was leaving, and I save stuff to give them out for holidays. But then since I knew I was building my brand and my website, my blog at the time, I said, I'm going to just give them out to artists as gifts. And then they were so appreciative, because at the time, who's like, why is this girl giving me $400 headphones? Because people weren't really going into, you had to go to Best Buy and things to go buy them. And you're really learning about the quality and deviating from what was already on the market. So I would give people headphones, and then they would send me back pictures thank you so much. So I collected all the pictures, and maybe 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 2 months, a month or 2 months later, I sent the pictures over to Jessica, who was the marketing person at Beats, and she forwarded them to Omar, because I noticed on their social really sucked. And I was like, maybe if they utilize my pictures and then they can cross-reference me, I can just build with them too. And then Omar ended up calling me. He found my card, which had my Google number, and he called me, and he was like, where are you getting these pictures from? I said, well, the talent sending them to me. He was like, where are you getting the product from? I said, this is the stuff that you guys gave me. I told you it was too much. But it's what am I no, I can't give this back to my family in Dominican and Haiti. They're going to be like, $400 headphones. We need food. We need like, give us money. You know what I mean? So it's like, I was like, this just naturally, it just made sense to do this. And then that's honestly what it took. Like, that's it. No resume, no nothing. And they end up hiring me to be their social media manager. But then I moved up the ranks and started doing all this other stuff where I didn't let the title define me.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
So has moving to LA been one of your best decisions in your life?
Yes, because I took a chance on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I remember being in the 7th grade and like, now we call them vision boards. But like when you take your paper and you cut out all the things that you wanted. I said, I want to have this type of house, this type of car. I want to drive. I was like meticulous in all the things that I wanted. And I'll never forget, because my mom still has that construction paper in her garage. But the one thing that I didn't get off of that, I said, I'm going to marry Marcus Houston. Cool. From Immature. That was like the one thing that didn't happen. That's cool.
Wait, what group was he in again?
Immature.
Yeah.
But like, we're actually really cool. So I was like, it worked out in some sort. Like, it's like a fake check, but not in that sense of like, at least I got to meet him yeah. So it's like an appreciation for his music and things like that. So I'm like, it honestly just worked out. But I'm glad that I took a chance on myself, because the part that people don't realize is the first year was the hardest. Mm-hmm. I didn't come with the success or know what to do. I was sleeping on my friend's couch. Mm-hmm. She had a house that was inherited to her, but it still was like, it was a bit chaos because she's still in her 20s and she just got a house. So, it's like, and it still had like all her old grandmother's things. So she's like transitioning to figuring it out. So I'm on the couch while she figures out this room situation for me. And like, I'm getting my car shipped. The person that I was talking to at the time is back on the East Coast. So like, I would talk to them before they get ready to go to work, which is, I got to get up at 4 or 5 a.m. to have a conversation. All my friends are back at home. It's hard out here for a chick. Yeah,
baby, say it again.
She gave us the green face emoji.
Yeah, so it didn't. It didn't pan out.
Yeah.
But the only thing I wish I could have got that sleep back. Them hours getting up to talk to this person, putting in that time and effort, wasting my beauty sleep. I need them hours back. But yeah, that first year was tough. Mm-hmm. It was tough because the part they don't tell you is like, they make it seem like, oh, LA is bad. It's not LA. It's the people who move here and who come with like, everybody's hustle. I'm trying to make it or figure it out. It's not the people from LA. The people from LA have been so amazing. Mm-hmm. And I like my first day here, the first place I went to was like, Nipsey's store. And that's how we built our relationship. All the things that I saw on TV, I wanted to be a part of. I went to Leimert Park because I needed to see what was going on. If I would like that, I went to that car wash that was on the wash. I went to the donut spot, Randy's, because of Bernie Mac. Because when he picked up the kids, he got them a big ass donut, like he said. So it's like I did all of those kind of things, and that's pretty much where my time kind of went. But like, again, that first year was tough. If you brave. If you don't have a foundation here, you could get lost very quickly. Because through the years, I lost myself a lot of times. And that's nobody's fault but my own when I look back at it, because it's like, okay, maybe I need to do this. I need to be more like this. I need to be da-da-da-da. But that's when you have like your real friends from here who tell you like, girl, you do not need to do all of that. That shit is fake. Like, there's LA and then there's Hollywood. Like, which one are you giving? Are you giving like...
So which one are you giving?
Now I'm giving Karen, like it's to a place of like KC where I'm defining myself and comfortable with myself. But LA has helped me find that. Well, California has helped me find that, to a sense of I'm from a place where they call the concrete jungle, and here you tap into all your senses. By the time you go to the mailbox, I love the fact that back home, they're going to make fun of me for riding a bike. Like, yeah, we saw this. Can I curse? No. Okay. We saw this itch riding her bike. She must be broke. Here, you gonna see everybody.
Because that was a mode of transportation in the hood. Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's just leisure here. It's like I'm in a bike club. I'm in a surf club. Like I'm in a dog doodle club. Like I'm in all the things that I absolutely love here.
that.
But also signify, because in order to have an animal, you got to have some bread.
Yeah.
You do. The vet bills are high.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is true.
And surfing stuff. Karen, you subtly flexing right now. We love it though.
This is the part that I do love. And I learned this from another influencer called Marcus Troy. So at the time when I was still doing like influencer culture and things they call it, I loved it because I made sure to partner with brands of things that I naturally liked. So if I'm going through a phase, I'm going to hit Roxy. I am surfing right now. Where are the clothes? Where are the things? Because at the same time, yes, I got it, but I'm a little bit cheap too. And like, we could figure out a synergy. We could work together because I don't necessarily like, it's great. I don't just always want the alcohol deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't always want to have a drink in my hand, and thing is lifestyle and seeing it as that. And what was great is watching someone like Marcus Troy. I saw him do a ski activation, and then I saw him do something with Rolls Royce. I said, oh, I'm thinking too small. I'm thinking way too small.
Yeah.
So then from there, I've damn near done activations with every company possible. So
Karen,
I need to connect on the Delta, but go ahead. Because I fly a lot.
Oh yeah, I have them too. Let's talk about that.
Because I need that car to the plane.
Oh yeah,
That's
know what too? Did you guys see they have a new Porsche version at LAX that'll pick you up?
Yep.
Yeah, I got you after this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
I got you.
So Karen, your company, Always Civil, helps to mold your client's image in the media and promote their projects to consumers.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you go about salvaging a client's image after chaos or scandal? And was there any one scandal in particular that was challenging?
I mean, there are quite a few. It's really just about POV and perception and changing that. So when I was working with Nipsey a lot, people saw him, like when I got a chance to talk to him and meet him, very educated person who comes from a hard, diligent working family, and it's a family business. That's what I got to see. And I wanted people to hear that story. But unfortunately, sometimes with rap, they hear the music and the violence and they get turned off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do we start working towards telling his story in other ways and putting him in position? But he understood that too. This was somebody, between him, Black Sam, Adam, and rest in peace, Fats as well, who already understood the importance of that. So when I'm saying, hey, we need to do a press run and go to Complex, or when he came up with the $100 mixtape, that was his idea that he got from a book. And it's just taking his idea and amplifying it to a point of people understanding the importance of what he's trying to do. This is not just a quick money grab, but all these platforms and all these things have your data. And now he gets to have it go directly to consumers. He can talk to them directly. If you really want this project, you can go buy it on a streaming platform, but you can get it from me. This is what the cost, this is what comes with it, and XYZ. Because besides that album, if you were in LA, it also got you a ticket to a concert.
Okay.
And you got to go to the meet and greet. So it's all these things. And then watching other artists eventually start to do the same thing. Like I remember Eminem did it. And there was a few other people, but he was just one of them. I really wanted to, I'm big on storytelling, and I'm big on just changing the narrative and POV of what you think someone may be, or the box that you put them in, and just never limiting that. So yes, the variety of people I worked with have all been different. So it's been from Nipsey to working with even Hillary, and even that people are like, why are you working with her? The stuff with Haiti. I said, well, we have to we can't be mad at every political side. We have to figure out what this conversation is. How are we being how are we moving our culture, our people, and the betterment of us forward if we're not engaging and having these conversations and being a part of the table, you know what I mean? And sitting at these tables. So it kind of varies with them all. They have all had their things, but then, with clients, when you sign so much, you may have 8 amazing ones and 2 that don't go well. And that's the part that always sucks. Yeah. But it's been fortunate, but now with Always Civil, it's now more with partnering with brands and helping them do their storytelling with artists. and that's been great. Like, just recently did some stuff with the NFL. I'm working on some stuff. I don't want to keep.
I got a question for you. I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could say the brands. Like, that's too much names.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah, like I'm just. I have these other companies I'm working with. I'm really, really excited because it's helping them tell a story, but through the narrative, using an artist and athlete as well.
Yeah. I hear you talking, and I'm watching you. Like, I just see the passion coming from you. Because
I get so excited from it, because it's like they go in and they're like, we know we want to do something. And it's like, okay, it's not every day a company will give you a blank canvas. Or if they have ideas, and I tell them, I'm like, listen, this is the spectrum thing talking. I'm not trying, it's very black and white with me. This idea is dumb. I don't understand the point of it. I don't know how you're going to get ROI from this. It makes no sense. You're bothering the talent. This, like, why are they doing this? Let's make this as organic and streamlined and really like get them talking. Because to me, the whole premise is you start an online conversation that then goes offline. You know, and it's just like, what's the point of, yes, you trend for a couple of hours, you take out some ads, but like, what did it really shift or change? Did people get like, oh, that's dope? Or like, I really like that. Or I want to partner with that. But this was great storytelling. Like, you want them to leave affected in a positive, motivated light.
Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
So what are two things that you would do differently for the Shontay brand to give her heightened awareness?
Ooh.
Two things. Your partnerships is one.
Okay.
Without saying, because I haven't done a whole full due diligence on like everything, but from a sense of women in sports are dominating right now.
Yep.
And no more than ever. It's great that they're getting more conversation. Like, the conversation around them has been way bigger than men. So I just feel like there is a place there. May it be the U.S. women's soccer team, volleyball team. There's something there, especially with the Olympics coming up. And I know they're going to be in Los Angeles. You're based out here. There's something there. There's some story tell. Okay, cool.
We on it.
Okay. That's one. And then the other thing is when they have these caravanas and like, I think that's something that you guys should be a part of. And especially Caribbean people. It's hard to explain when I walk around this, why I have this. It's like, you think you white girl. And it's all this like,
that's facts.
I'm trying to give you like every type of accent I begin. And I'd be like, what are y'all talking about? Or they got to see it hella white on them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, it's not supposed to look like that in XYZ. But I just think from a sense of partnering with, may it be the one that's in Toronto, overseas or something, you partnering with one of these caravanas to have the float, the conversation, the activation, the thing where you're at a point maybe powering it.
Love it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that free consultation here.
Yeah.
So you are clearly incredibly intelligent, clever, and business minded.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're also very kind and beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love a little, God did a little extra sprinkle.
Okay. Do you come across dusties or cloud chasers posing as lovers?
Oh man. I dibble dabbled, man, because you know what? But the thing is, it's my fault. This is where accountability comes in.
Okay.
Because anybody that I've dated, interact with, things, in order for it to go to that place, I've allowed it to, in the sense of like, I've made the mistake of not creating church and state. And when I say that, I mean separating work and my personal. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just thing, because they kind of get my life and they kind of thing. And that doesn't always work out. And that's not fair to them, because then another thing is I also dated for potential. And that was the brokenness in me. I needed therapy and not a man.
Ooh.
Because it's like, it's not my job to build anybody. I'm not Bob and I'm not a bear. So it's like, that's not for me to do. And at the same time too, that's not fair to him. Like, because this is, you know, they be like, oh, their ego, they can't handle a strong woman. Maybe they can't, and that's okay. But again, it's just knowing the difference of who you are. I'm at a place where I know I'm a sunrise, and I dated a lot of sunsets. Oh. And I'll say that in the nicest way. But for me, it's about accountability. So I don't even want to necessarily call them like a clout chaser or a dusty or a thing. It's like I met people at a certain place. You know, I thought they had potential. And that's my problem, you know, and that's the mothering in me, because I'll see potential in work to make something thing. And then I treated it now as church and state. I leave it separate. I don't want to know. It's cool. It's what's up.
I love
and
that.
thing. And I just know how to deviate it now, because I'm not in a space of wanting to fix anybody, when reality, I just really wanted to fix myself.
Mm-hmm.
I see you as, you know, when you're in these spaces, conservatively dressed, and highly respected. Do you feel like these men cross the line with you?
Yeah, men definitely do, and they play the game. And I'm happy more than anything. Like, I'm happy with how the conversations have been going the last few years, where people have been calling it out, and you're not feeling like you're in a space where it's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, you'll get that, and I'm just. Because I built my brand on being so much like, when you think of Oprah Winfrey, you just say Oprah Winfrey boss. You don't think about XYZ. And that's kind of how I wanted the same thing too for myself, where it's like, it's more respect. Like, I rather respect and work with her than like F her or try to sleep with her, XYZ. But I'll come across that. I don't give it much attention. I really don't care. I like, as what the kids say, pay it. No mind, like, just pay it and just keep it moving, because at this point, like, it does get exhausting.
Yeah,
it does get very, very exhausting. But at the same time, it sucks to say this, but it's like I'm in a place where I know what I've signed up for, and yeah, I just navigate around it.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
Before you get out of here, though, we got to talk music real quick. Okay.
Yes.
So I feel like there are a lot of albums coming out right now. Mm-hmm. I want to get your thoughts on some popular artists.
Okay.
I saw you tweeting on Ye the other day. Okay. From your perspective of marketing, do you think Beyonce creating a country album was a smart move?
For her, yeah.
Okay.
Just in the sense, she is from Houston, Texas, you know, and it's just giving that I call it like kind of country soul. I've been calling it, where she's not the first. I've been listening to Mickey Guyton for a while, you know, and there's so many artists who are out. But if it helps open up this conversation in this genre, and we're watching people who walked into hip hop leave and go back to country, you know, i.e. a Post Malone and things like that. And we congratulate and we're happy for them. So we're going to do the same thing for Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Ye's Vulture? He's very polarizing in the media, right? Considering his fallout with Adidas and Yeezy and several outlandish statements. As an image expert, what's your current assessment of his media image and consumer reception?
Kanye is Kanye. And I feel like at this point, if you don't get it and you don't see it, he's always given you this version of telling it how it is. For certain things he said, he did apologize for his anti-Semitic comments, which I appreciated, because given with this climate right now, no one group wants to feel attacked, especially what's happening in their community and things like that. So I appreciate the fact that he gave that apology. But just like with the other stuff with Adidas, that's part of culture. Like this man has single-handedly provided and done so much for this community when you really think about it. Like, you know, so it's Adidas. Every time Kanye do something, they send me an email. So like about his slides, they're still selling it. So like when I think of these companies who say they're not messing with him, but I'm like, technically you are. You're still selling his stuff. That's the reason it's keeping you guys afloat and your business doing well. But then I am big on the anti or the quote unquote underdog in this situation he is. So it's always fascinating how someone's able to rise and come above it. I got to see him perform the Vulture set in Milan, and explaining that to people is so crazy, because he has like a cult-like following that a lot of men at this point, and I'm gonna make sure, like, men don't have right now. Like men artists, it's other men who are dressing all in black, who are getting the clothes, doing the things to go see him, to go be a part of this. And that is amazing. Like, you're not seeing things like this. You're not seeing like, what are Yeezys called? Yeezy addicts? What are his fans called?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, like how the yays, the yays, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, why don't you come up with the name though? You should come up with the name.
Kanye fans basically, John Monopoly could do that. Shout out to him. And it's like now he added back to his team. Like his manager is an amazing businessman who was working with him before. I just feel like there's potential for him to continue to go upward. Mm-hmm. You know, because it was scary for a bit. People were a bit nervous, but this project is bringing him back on there. Carnival is one of my favorite songs, so I'm just excited to see where it continues to grow in a positive space, because it's great that the fandom for him is there, or just for a black male in this space to be. Mm-hmm. Another one from Chicago. So it's cool. We've seen this with Michael Jordan. We've seen this with Kobe. We usually see this with athletes, and not like musicians. Even more importantly, black male rappers. You don't like, now you're kind of seeing the Playboy Cardis, you know, but Kanye is the start to it all. So it's just exciting to watch that he has a fan base like Beyonce and like Nicki and everything else, and they go up for him.
And Miss Westy, how you feeling about that track?
Oh, it's so cute. And I love that, like, his daughter literally looks like an extension of him. And it's the cutest thing ever. I agree. And if it's them spending more time together, and then they're getting to be out and they have like a conducive, positive workflow on how they're doing their stuff with their daughter, it's amazing to see. And I think people need to see that, especially with the divorce rate and things being so high, and people still need to co-parent. Oof. So if you're getting to see co-parenting in a positive light, and you know, given with all the conversations that are happening around child stars right now, and you get to see it be done by their parents on their accord, is great to see.
Karen?
Yes.
I really enjoyed this conversation.
I did too.
And we could probably keep going for another 20 minutes. I thought it was thought-provoking and very enlightening, and you provided a lot of insight. Thank you for being a trailblazer. Listen, some people were really excited when I told them that we were having Karen on the show. If they're in the space, right? Because it's like, you know, people that are doing this here, you know, people that are doing stuff here. Yeah. But I'm telling you, you've built an incredible brand for yourself.
Thank you.
And regardless of what happens, who says what, we rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Such a joy.
We're excited to see, you know, what's up next, and keeping inspiring, because there's women out here like, I need to get that ride to the plane, like Shontay Lundy, right?
Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time, but you're killing the game. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
This is fun.
And we'll be right back with what's happening at Black Girl Sunscreen. Francis Fold.
Yes, ma'am.
What's happening at Black Girl Sunscreen?
So, Black Girl Sunscreen just dropped a commercial.
Oh, come on. A commercial?
We dropped a commercial that airs on Hulu in the midst of, can I say what it's in the midst of?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, there's this documentary that's dropping called Freaknik. And we're involved with that. And if you're watching the documentary, you're going to see some Black Girl Sunscreen pop up on your screen.
Okay, now. They needed Black Girl Sunscreen back during the Freaknik days. How about that, right? This is a proud moment for Black Girl Sunscreen, because it is a contribution to our marketing team and our success, and really just the expansion of our efforts. Black Girl Sunscreen has a multi-channel marketing strategy. So here we are on air. You know, we do a lot of out-of-home marketing with our billboards, our buses. You know, now we're in streaming on Hulu during a very cultural moment. And it's a subculture, right? Because not everybody knows what Freaknik is. Yeah. Then we have our community-based activations and our national activations, being sponsors of, you know, large sports sports teams and tennis tournaments. Black Girl Sunscreen, we're trying to reach the people that want Black Girl Sunscreen.
We making moves.
Okay, so congratulations, team, on the Hulu commercial.
Congratulations, Black Girl Sunscreen.
And for anybody listening, if you catch us on Hulu during the Freaknik or any other program, click that. Listen, capture that screen and tag Black Girl Sunscreen. We love to see it. And until next time, you're listening to Shamelessly Shontay, and I'm your host, Shontay Lundy.